So,
All right. Megan, you're
okay. Okay. I'm just going to click present. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of New Mexico. Yes. We were Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Mountain Region, but we just merged with Central. And so now it's just one Big Brothers, Big Sisters of New Mexico. So that way we cover almost every county in New Mexico. Around here, we have a program specialist in Rio Arriba. We have Taos, we have Las Vegas. I work with matches in Espanola, in Penasco, we're starting a school program. So it's really just about anywhere in the state, you'll be able to find us. So throughout this presentation, I'm just gonna show you a little bit about what we do, how you can help, and maybe how we can just collaborate. I've worked with James a lot. We go to the chamber breakfasts on our coffee on Tuesdays. And so we've connected several times there too. So here's just a few things that bigs of the volunteers and the littles the children have said in our matches. I had someone to hang out with and to talk to. It's surprising that we saw each other as equals. That was from a high school student. The joy of cheering her on through achievements, both big and small, helping to build her confidence. My big was a very open person, never judged. She gave me advice and shared her stories, and it's made me a more empathetic and compassionate person. So just kind of think about what other stories could happen when you're a mentor. We are volunteer supported, so a lot like you, we only can work if we have volunteers. Like I said, just most counties in New Mexico. Here in Los Alamos, I do have 29 matches currently. Half of those are site-based. That means that they meet for lunches, lunch buddies at school. The other are community-based. So they meet outside of school hours and do things in the community. I'll give you some examples about that. We do make one-on-one matches. So we really look to match personalities, match interests, match just styles of people and vibes of people, so that the match stays longer. The shortest match, the new one that's starting next week, and the longest one has been together since before COVID. And so they've been together since elementary, and now he's in middle school, and they've stayed together the whole time. So at Aspen, I have a match who started in kindergarten, and she's going to be in 6th grade, and they plan to go to the middle school. So that's what we're looking for, is long mentoring matches. A little bit more about community-based. Just like I said, spend time with your little in the community. I've had matches go to the zoo. They go all the way down to Albuquerque. They've even gone to the Moriarty Pumpkin Patch with high school kids. We have activities every month. We just went to the New Mexico Wildlife Center in Espanola, and I invited matches there, and some of the younger kids liked that. Anything from going to lunch, even driving lessons, which is scary because I have a teenager. Driving lessons they've done. They volunteered at the Pumpkin Glow. Just anything that fits your schedule and what you like to do are things that you can do in the community. Our school-based, we kind of have two different programs. One is the Lunch Buddies, and that's where you can just meet at lunch at the child's school one time per week. There's usually a spot that's at Aspen. They're really welcoming there. Aspen has 10 matches that meet right now. And so you just kind of find a spot, you bring your lunch, you play games or activities. Some even go to recess with them and just kind of hang out at recess. Then the other option for school, which I'm trying to kind of work on up here in Los Alamos, is a high school big program. That used to be up here. Lunch Buddies got started with someone not Big Brothers, Big Sisters, like in 1999. And so a lot of students said, oh yeah, I've had a lunch buddy. And so high school kids would go into the schools and have lunch with them. Or this picture is an example in Espanola. We have a program at Pojoaque High School with the elementary there, one at McCurdy in Espanola. Capital has a program. So I'm really wanting to get that started up here at the high school, where we have at least 10 students, high school students, go to a school once a week, and we play games, we do activities, different things like that in one school. So that's kind of my project right now, is I feel like these high school students in here could get really involved. And I say that because I have a teenager, I have a sophomore and an 8th grader. So I'm always looking for things to get them involved with. Just a few pictures of our matches. The match down here started when she was in elementary school, and they just stopped this last summer because the little went to a semester abroad. She got credits earned early over the summer and really worked hard so she could do a semester abroad in Spain. So that is one of my success stories for sure. This is just a match that's at one of our events, Bowl for Kids' Sake in Espanola. Another kind of a newer match, and then another site-based match. So you can just see kind of the difference. There's not one, the youngest is first grade, the oldest is 15 of my littles right now. The volunteers, the bigs, the youngest is 24, like just out of college, just started at the lab, and the oldest is 82. So I don't want you to think they wouldn't want to hang out with me, or I wouldn't know what to talk to. You do. Like, they really just like that one-on-one positive attention. Yeah.
That was Heidi.
Yeah, you see her?
She's a year abroad in Spain on Rotary Youth.
Oh, Rotary Youth.
We sent her.
Oh my gosh. See, and so when I talked to her big, she actually did a semester abroad too, a year abroad too.
Yeah.
And so to hear that they had talked about that and she really supported her through that, I'm like, when are you going to Spain? When is her big gonna visit her over there? So that's what I'm saying, right? That's so good. So there's just lots of ways. Volunteering, we do ask for 4 to 6 hours. There's of course there's traveling. Sometimes people can't make it, but around 4 hours a month, that's once a week. Some of the community-based matches will meet on a Saturday and go to lunch and go on a hike and use their whole 4 hours that day. So it's really just up to your schedule and up to how much time you can spend. Of course, we do have events, golf. We just had our golf tournament. I don't have numbers for that. It was at Buffalo Thunder. And then we do Bowl for Kids' Sake and just talking about it. This was one for our Bowl for Kids' Sake. Different groups around town decorated bowling pins. That's a bowling pin for prizes. And so we worked with the library and the teen center and different artists around town to make those happen. If you do want to, right, I'm always looking for volunteers, right? That's kind of I can always find littles. I can always find children that want to be in the program. We get children recommended from JJAB and schools all the time, but I can't do it if we don't have volunteers. And so it is a process, but I'll be there the whole time. It starts with an application and we do a background check. We pay for it and I set you up here. It takes about 5 minutes. There's an interview and an online training. And then really it's just kind of waiting to find a match. We don't just put people together. We really look at your interests. That's why we do an interview, see just kind of what things are important to you and try to match you with a little who shares that same thing. So you have things in common already so that it's not so awkward at the beginning, right? And then something that's different with Big Brothers Big Sisters is I check in every month and just see how things are going. I provide activities. We do things at the holidays. I work with the Catholic Church up here for around the holidays for kind of like a giving tree. And they give, they're there for some of our littles during the holidays too with presents. So it looks like a lot at first, but it's just safety. We're trying to, really check into the people that we have for our volunteers. And really, that's just, I've been working with James and that's good. We talked about an activity, talking about going into the high school to the group. I've done a presentation at Kiwanis and then at Key Club at the high school too, to just look for high school volunteers. It's a good opportunity for them volunteering for a nonprofit. They'll get a graduation cord. They'll get letters of recommendation if they need it. So it's a really good opportunity for high school students to start helping as well. Okay, any questions? I'm so glad to hear about Heidi. She's been a little since she was in second grade in elementary. So she is like that success story of what can happen when you have a mentor and how big of an impact that they can have on your life. Yeah, she's so cool.
Yeah. She ever stopped talking?
She's fine. That's really it. Does anyone have any questions that I could clarify? I know it was kind of quick. Yes.
What kind of environments do these kids come out of?
So they're I think that when you see the training, it does talk about kids who have experienced trauma, or kids who even have incarcerated parents, or different things, but it's really all over. In schools, sometimes kids do get referred if they need more attention. I have one at Aspen that gets a lot of negative adult attention, so I wanted him to have a big so he could have positive adult attention at school. And so it's really, I can't say we have more of one or the other. I have littles that have both parents working at the lab. I have littles that are single parents. I have littles that are living with a grandmother. So it's kind of all over. It's different, just different backgrounds. It's not one thing. I'm trying to kind of at school get it away from the students who have kind of behavior issues and get it more towards the new students at the school, or the students who sit alone at lunch, those students who follow teachers around at recess, who don't have a lot of friends but follow teachers around. That's kind of what I'm going for now. So it's just not one type of little.
So how did the kids actually get introduced to the program?
So at school, because I was a teacher up here for 20 years at Aspen, and so I know a lot of the kids and a lot of the families. And so it can come from a recommendation like that. The school counselor is really good at each school, especially Aspen and Barranca. They're really good about saying, hey, I have this student who could use some more attention. And then their parents fill out an application, and then I interview them too to see what they're looking for and what kind of commitment they could have. The community-based is a little more, I go a little further in that than the site-based, because if you meet at school-based with your student, you just meet at school. You never meet off the property. There's always teachers, always people around. But the interview for community-based is more in depth with parents and kids. So just things like that. Like I said, JJAB has referred us. Families coming looking for just different support for their children. So it's just a lot of different ways that.
But you are integrated into the schools.
Except for the high school, and that has been my big project this year.
Yeah.
Talking to counselors, talking to the career readiness department and the counseling department. I haven't really started badgering them yet, but I'm almost there to where it's like, okay, we need to get this program started. It's really successful at McCurdy in Espanola. It's really successful at Capitol in Santa Fe. And I feel like if Espanola and Santa Fe and Pojoaque can have a program, then we need to have one up here too. Like that's something we can absolutely do.
So they have programs in their high schools.
Yeah, we've gone in and set it up, and they meet at lunch. We take things in. It's facilitated, so we're always there. Staff is always there. And so that's an option up here. If we have enough kids, we could do that. Some of the schools are more willing to have a group of high school kids come in than others, but or they could just come in and have lunch with them once a week too, is an option.
The high schoolers will be the big.
The high school big will be the big.
And that's
Yep.
probably because they're probably closer in age than the adults.
Right.
Pair them up, so that might be a better.
I think to have a high school kid come to have lunch with a 7th grader would be pretty impactful on that 7th grader. You know, if there's a little at an elementary school who gets a lot of adult attention just all the time, maybe they work with a one-on-one, or they go see the speech therapist and they see all these different people. I think to have a high school kid come in would be that thing that would keep them kind of motivated to.
You know, you mentioned that you talked to Kiwanis, that
Mhm.
you discussed with them the fact that you have this program
Yep.
and you can pair people up. And we have an Interact Club
Yeah.
also, a Rotary Interact Club at the high school. And I just see a lot of students that are participating in both the Key Club and the Rotary Interact Club.
Yep.
This could be a great source of people that would be willing to
Yep.
volunteer as a
For
as a
sure.
brother or sister to.
Yep. So I did go into the high school to the Key Club and do a presentation. I brought them Dr. Pepper and Takis because that's what kids these days are eating. It's disgusting, but so I tried to bribe them a little bit. But there was a few interests, and they just haven't turned in applications yet. James, you did email me last week the kids' names on the Interact Club. So if you forgot, or because you're a concussion, you did email me about a few kids. So next time they have their meeting, I have a different high school presentation, and I can come in and do that as well. The high school big application isn't as thick as the volunteer is. They need a match, like a recommendation from a teacher, and their parent fills out a reference. So it's pretty easy for them to get started. It's really just more about their kids that have like a third period free period or a win time waiver at the high school, so that they have a little bit more time and flexibility to get there to the elementary schools. Yeah.
When do students graduate from?
So when they
program?
graduate high school, or in the case of Heidi, she left for, her year abroad. So we did close their match, but it's very important to me that matches know once their match is officially closed with us. It just means that I'm not responsible for their hours, for their safety, that they absolutely keep meeting and keep in contact with each other. That's really what you want, is that lifelong friend. My big, who's 82, has gone to weddings, graduations. Like he just, he's like, once you're with me, you're a lifer. And that's kind of how it can start out. You can really make an impact for not just that year, but longer.
So based on that, do you have any kids who are in the program and still have a FIG who are also dual acting as a FIG?
So no, but I do have one in my enrollment kind of queue who was one of the kids who had a big when he was little. And so he's starting the process to be a big. So that is something too to look at. If you went through the program and you had a big, now is a good time for you to give back, so to speak, right? To have it come full circle. Yeah.
Do you ever have any middle school students,
So-
mentors to elementary school?
So
kids?
no, their schedule is just different. And with the high school bigs, they'd have to be able to drive to a school site, right? Like Pewaukee is set up so neat. Their campus is intermediate, elementary, and high school all in one walking distance. And so that just doesn't happen here. I do have lunch buddies that meet at the middle school. They were in elementary and they transitioned up to the middle school and they still wanted them. So the middle school is good about letting us come in there too and have their matches meet.
When I was in Big Brother, Big Sister, the way that our school did it in Colorado
Mhm.
was through student council.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
and then there was also like a leadership
Yep.
class. And many of the students were involved in both.
Mhm.
And so when I was in this particular group, it was like peer-to-peer.
Okay.
We were
Yeah.
doing peer-to-peer counseling, not counseling, but like mentoring.
Mentoring. Yeah.
And helping with math, helping with
Yep.
science.
Cool.
And also, as part of that, was also to be matched with in the Big Brother Big Sister program.
Mm.
And so I got matched with a 7-year-old, and she's now 54.
Oh my gosh.
And so I've been in touch with her
Time flies.
that entire time. And so,
I love hearing that.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Been to
So we.
weddings, been to a funeral.
Yeah,
Her
see?
little baby
Oh.
died 4 days after birth.
Oh my gosh.
I give her Christmas presents.
I
every
love to
year.
hear that.
I mean, it can be impactful
Mhm.
to somebody.
Yeah.
And so, but I encourage you to encourage the student council.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Because they're many of them are the leaders of the school,
And they're looking
then-
for volunteer hours. Like they
and/or
need those
they know
volunteer
people
hours.
who
Yeah.
might be interested, and
Yep.
they're good little communicators
Yeah.
to encourage others
Yep. That's
if they're
in.
aware of the program.
In Capital, it's Avid, which is kind of like that, a leadership. It's their student council. They are like that. Capital is a little different. They have every Wednesday afternoon off, so they have this chunk of time where they can do that. So really, it's just the scheduling. It's getting in. I've emailed, talked to counselors and the assistant principal. He's led me in directions too, and so it's just really getting in and actually getting applications from kids who want to do it.
Well, the student council has block hours at the school. And
Okay.
So, it's a class.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and so if the high school's still doing blocks,
Yep.
then, they have
They are.
courses on
Mhm.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and other courses on Tuesday,
Yep.
Thursday. And if the Tuesday, Thursday block is student council, that's an hour and a half of time
Okay.
every week that student council meets, and it's a class.
Yeah.
And I'm saying there's time there
There is. Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah.
besides after hours. After school.
Mm-hmm. No, I love that. So that is my goal, is trying to get in like that and start these programs at the high school.
Say a little bit about program, like how many Big Brothers Big Sisters programs are there, like across America?
Yeah.
Are there particular regions where it's very strong? And how did this program get started?
So I hear Texas is the biggest, with the most matches and most just. I hear Texas around Dallas is really big. It is a national company, so we're all across the nation. It got started up here. So someone was doing Lunch Buddies who was not affiliated with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and he got a grant to pay the school counselors to get some kids together so they could have lunch buddies. And like I said, it was 1999, something like that. And then Big Brothers Big Sisters has been in Santa Fe for about 47 years. And so they have just kind of creeped up here. And I'm not sure I can't find the exact year where it started up here in Los Alamos and where Big Brothers Big Sisters took over that program, because it was, we've been mountain region, we've been northern New Mexico, we've been several different things. And so, but there have been lunch buddies up here since 1999. And the person before me was here for 7 years, and a person 3 years before that. So at least 10 years, 12 years up here and under Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's been happening.
Before that, we had a program with Rotary. And
Oh.
it was, mentoring. I would go to the library
Okay.
and meet with a student and help with the homework
Mm-hmm.
and whatever
Yeah.
questions they had. Of course, I was especially helpful with math and physics.
Oh.
and
Mm-hmm.
chemistry. But
Mhm.
we did that once a week
Yeah.
and open to whoever they called and said you could have a meeting.
Yeah. And the school just picked a student for you. Yeah.
Through the teachers.
See, that must be, how it got started. It's he's with the Community Foundation now. I can't think of his name right now, but I met with him the other day just to get some history. And so, 1999.
Not long ago, but it might have been 20 years.
It's been up here for that long. So,
What kind of expenses does organization like yours have? What does it cost to make this?
yeah.
You have to coordinate and find matches
Mhm.
and work with the schools. So, I imagine there's some expenses. And
Yeah.
do you have like a fundraiser that supports that, or how do you?
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit, so everything we get is from donations, right? And so we have our annual golf tournament that brings in money for Los Alamos and Rio Arriba. We have Bowl for Kids' Sake that brings in money. There are probably more help from Espanola than up here in Los Alamos, actually. Our board is mixed of Espanola and Los Alamos. And so there's some big, Century Bacon in Espanola is really big. Like there's some big donations that come in. But I mean, it's up here in Los Alamos when I'm finding activities and things to do, it's really easy because there's always something going on. Like Halloween weekend is this, matches can go to that, they can do that. There is kind of a budget of like $100 a month to find activities or for supplies. And so it's really trying to be resourceful and just finding things that are already happening where I can go and just kind of slide in, right? So it's kind of tricky, but we are a nonprofit, so that's how we operate.
So is the biggest need bigs?
Yes, really. Always bigs. The number that they kind of would like it to be is around 50. And right now there's 30 up here in Los Alamos. So that's a good match to say, Los Alamos can keep going. We can keep giving them money. We can keep as long as we're growing the program up here. So that's what I'm trying to do.
It seems like 30 is a good number.
I think
That's
me
a
personally
pretty
managing
significant
these matches and checking in with them every month and activities and, resources, 30 is a good number, but
Is that unique? Is Los Alamos unique in that, like, in that need? Like, having a,
There's less in
shortage
Rio
of
Arriba.
gigs.
There's less. Taos is a little different because they have a space at a center where high school kids come after school. So it's just kind of different regions is very different, right? And so up here in Los Alamos, just because it's kind of up here in its own little world, then I kind of do have, I can have a school program and have community based and have, you know, all of that. But it is just me up here, which I like, but it makes things a little difficult too, you know. But just that's why I'm kind of reaching out and just collaborating with different groups in town and just even getting the word out that we're here and that what we offer, you know.
Are most of your participants through the school?
So,
School-based
mhm.
activities
So,
rather than community-based?
so 18, I guess, and I have 3 in Espanola as well. So 18 out of 32 are at school, at site-based. And I feel like that's the easier kind of way to get in. You go to school, you have lunch, you play some games. I have games and activities at every school, you know, once a week during lunchtime. That's kind of the easiest way, I think, to ease in. You're not, with community, it's, you have to kind of put yourself out there. You're picking them up at their house, you're driving them around, you're taking, you know, spending hours at a time with them. And so it's, community is a little different, but the matches I have are, they're perfectly matched. So they're going to be together for a long time. I know that they're really, yeah. It's, I really like it when they come together for the first time and it's like, yes, this is, you know, like this is going to work. This is going to work. So that's why we do an interview and it's so long and such a long process because I don't just put people with other people. Like we want it to be meaningful for both, you know, for both. The new match that's starting, on the reference sheet, one of the references was a spouse and she said, a weakness is he just really likes math too much. And so the student, we were talking and the student, you know, he was like, well, what do you want to work on? He's like, I don't know. I just really like math. And I'm like, look at this. This is perfect. Right. And so, so just, that's what I really like is making those matches that really connect like that and make it meaningful. Anything else?
Do you have like an even mix of male and female pairs, or do you
Right.
or do you have more men? Does it tend
So-
to work better with boys, or how is it?
So we can match females with male littles.
Oh, well,
But
no,
not
no,
the other
what
way
I was
around.
thinking-
Yeah.
what I was thinking was whether, because I was just assuming that
Yeah.
you would match male with male and
Yep.
female with female. So I was just wondering whether you had more
Mhm.
female pairs or more male pairs, or whether it was an even
Yeah.
number.
So now it's probably even. There's always a push for male mentors. Like you'll hear that in New Mexico too. But up here, it's kind of even. It's half and half.
Okay.
And so, but we can match a female big with a male little too. And so that just depending kind of on what they're looking for, right? Some are their preference is very strong, like a younger male, right? Like some preferences are very strong, but if they're not, it's just kind of open. And I'd say it's about half right now. Mm-hmm. Good questions. I like it.
Again, one more time, what was the time commitment for a big?
So 4 hours a month. So some do it
That's not bad.
1 hour a week. If you go into lunch, that's kind of, you know, it's like you go in for lunch, it's an hour, and that's it, one time a week. Community-based can get a little longer. I do have some that meet every week for 2 hours. So they go over the recommendation. But
I'll just, when I got, I guess, matched with this little girl, she was in first grade.
okay.
And so I went to school, and then we would read
Mm-hmm.
for about 15 minutes, and we have lunch. And that's how it started. And then I would go to her house,
Uh-huh.
like on like a Thursday or a Saturday or whatever. And then I would take her out and we would go read.
Yeah.
She had to read
Okay.
with me for like, I'd say 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
And if she read, and she was assigned to me because she was hyperactive,
Mm-hmm.
and she was one of the more difficult little kids in class. And so I would have her read with me. And if she did that, then she was rewarded.
Mhm.
And then we would go get ice cream.
Yeah.
Or we would go to my house and make brownies.
Mhm.
Or we would go and play with my dog. Or we would go to the park.
Yeah.
But she would always read.
Yeah.
So the thing was you have to read, and then
Mhm.
we go and do fill in
Yeah.
the blank.
Yep.
And then she became part of our family.
Mm.
So then it's like, oh, we're having
Yep.
Thanksgiving. Would you like to come to Thanksgiving?
Yep.
We just whisked her away. She comes to Thanksgiving. I took her trick or treating. She was Casper the ghost.
Oh.
I walked around the neighborhood with
Oh
her
my
and
gosh.
Casper the ghost. And but I'm saying you incorporate her into
Yeah.
your family. And then
Mhm.
it's not 4 hours a month.
It's
of-
not an
of trying to figure out
obligation.
what to
It's
do.
not. Yeah.
It
It's
just becomes
yeah. It's not
it
an
just
obligation.
becomes, easy.
Mhm.
But we always did the reading.
Yeah.
Focused on we're doing that, then we'll do this. And there were times when she did not want to read. And then
Yeah.
after the 15, 20 minutes, it's like she didn't want to do it. And I'd say, okay, very good. Bye-bye. I'll see you next week. And then for her, she had gone through 7 big brother and big sisters before
Oh,
she ever
man.
met me.
Mhm.
And her goal was to get rid of them.
Right.
And then the next week I would show up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And then we're going eating. We're going to read Tip
Yep.
and Mitten, about the dog and the little cat or whatever. And then after that, she would, if she would do it, then again, we'd do something fun. If she didn't,
Yeah.
I would say, that was fine. Bye-bye.
Yep.
I will
Yep.
see you next week. But I kept coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't get rid of her.
Yep. That
You know,
consistency.
And then by
It
just
is.
being consistent,
Yep.
she began to realize, oh my gosh, this girl's not leaving.
Mhm.
And everybody else she pushed away.
Yeah.
But that was the beginning of breakthrough for her.
Yeah.
Is that you're not leaving.
Yep.
You're not ditching
You
them.
keep
Yep.
coming back.
Uh huh.
You're not ditching
It
them.
is.
But
Yep.
we set parameters of like, this
Yeah.
is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And then she can now read.
I love that. I
You know, but,
love
Miracle
those
the little
stories. I love those stories. Oh.
Chuck.
Another occasion was a grammar school teacher came to me and my wife at
Okay.
church, with me in the same church,
Uh huh.
and she recommended if I could be a mentor in that family. In
Yeah.
the sense that we invited the mother and the student every week
Yep.
for dinner or whatever.
Mhm.
And I would work out what little projects I could
Okay.
come up with, so we spend time, like the science fair.
Oh, yep.
Or
that'd be good.
other little things.
Mhm.
And we did that for years.
Yeah.
He was kind of a problem child of the sort, but now he's got a nice family and
Yeah.
he's doing well.
I know. It's just the connection,
Took
right?
years.
That's what they're looking for,
Over
connection.
10 years.
Yeah. 10 years. Wow. I love these stories.
You have one. What were you, elementary at or
I
secondary?
was at Aspen for 19 and a half years, actually, not 20. So,
And did you
second grade,
participate in the program?
I did. I recommended some of my students for the program, and they were matched for years and years there.
Were you a bit, or, I mean,
Nope.
you mentioned you had an 8th grader.
Yeah.
And sophomore, so that can make.
Yeah,
sense.
I'm not a big, we do have a lot of staff that are, right? Right
Well,
now,
were you early in your
Nope.
teaching career?
I wasn't. My kids have kept me super busy, I feel like. They have to be in every sport and every activity. And so that's what we're doing right now. But, it's really like you guys are talking about. It's about connection. If they have some other adult, even outside their family, that cares about them, then that's really what they're looking for. It's like one other adult.
As an educator, you were able to observe the
Mhm.
interactions and the impact.
Yeah. And they could meet in my room and they could do different activities, like you could see them open up more. The first couple of meetings weren't, of course it's awkward just meeting somebody, but then you could see the little opening up and talking about things and just being able to be themselves, Where in school it's kind of hard because you have to be like in this space in school, right? But so I try not to make it about academics always, or about, it's really just fun, right? We have robotics kits at each of the schools. We have we have just different activities, whatever they ask for, I bring it in. So they have whatever they want to do. Checkers, chess, they're there, like anything they want. I think I went over the time.
So I was just reading through Heidi's report.
Yeah.
She found a roller derby club.
Mhm.
She's roller derbying and
Oh my gosh.
goes to the beach 4 or 5 times
Ugh.
a week and
Mm.
said she may not want to come back. So
Well,
I think you're done with her.
I think I could just check in and have her send me a picture. Send me a picture of your adventure.
She's supposed to send pictures.
Yeah, send a picture.
Yeah. So yeah,
What
I
country
love
is
that.
she in?
get on her butt. Huh?
She's in Spain.
Oh,
She left as a junior, but I think